Good afternoon, fourth grade. Today I'm going to show you a video on how to make the floor either tile or wood down here at the bottom of your paper. You should have three walls, one, two, three, a ceiling, a floor, and then three canvases. At least three canvases. You can have more canvases if you want, but make sure all the canvases that are on the side wall go to the vanishing point on each side. Any canvases on the back wall will be flat, so those are ready or okay to have either square or rectangle. Today, like I said, we're going to make the tile flooring. There's two different options. The easier of the two options is to make each of your tile or wood planks an inch in length, which means that you go on the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that would be the easier option. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more detailed, you can go every half an inch. So this would be a half an inch, a half an inch, a half an inch. This would be 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5. So make sure that your ruler is on this line, which is the bottom of the back wall. Line up your ruler on that line and either do every half an inch and make a little dash just dark enough to where you can see it, not very big, just a little dot, maybe even a little bit longer than a dot. I'm doing every half an inch. If you want to do every inch, that is your choice. But I want mine to be more detailed and have more tiles on the floor. So that's why I am doing more than just a whole inch. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to line up each one of these dots with the vanishing point. But you're only going to draw down here. So it's kind of confusing. I'm going to start over here and I'm going to make sure that my ruler is on the vanishing point and on my first little mark that I made, and I'm going to draw a line that goes out and off my paper. I'm going to move my ruler down to the next mark. I'm going to make sure my ruler is still on that vanishing point. Sometimes when you move your ruler over, it moves off that vanishing point, but it's still on there. So I'm going to keep drawing my lines. I'm going to go to the next one, make sure my vanishing point is still touching, and do the next line. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go to each one of these lines, making sure each time, this is really important, that my ruler is still touching that line. Eventually, as you start to get to these marks that you made that are right below your vanishing point, your lines are going to start to go straight down from your vanishing point. And that is right. A lot of people want to do it in a different way that seems more comfortable to them. So eventually, all of your flooring is going to look like this. It's going to look like it's going back towards the vanishing point. A lot of people, here's the wrong way to do it. A lot of people will make their marks. I'm going to do every half an inch for this one too, just so you can see some consistency. A lot of people will stop paying attention as they're drawing their marks, and they'll just keep moving their ruler. So here I am lined up with that dot. Here I am lined up with this dot. After they do the first couple of dots, they just start moving their ruler over. You seeing a problem with this? All of my planks are the same size, and they're all going the same direction. Then eventually they say, oh, that's not the correct way to do it. Then they start going like this and not paying attention where their ruler is up here. It has to be on that dot all the time. That vanishing point is there for a reason, because that's the point where everything vanishes to. Let me go back to my original and keep drawing, making sure that my ruler is on that dot, and I draw. Making sure that ruler's on that dot, and I draw another line. I keep going to each one of my dots, but keeping my ruler on that vanishing point, each one that I draw. And that was my last one. As you can see, it really looks like your floor is going back in space, when really it's not. It's just an illusion that you're making it look like that because the planks are getting smaller as it gets farther away. Now, we need to make the tiles cut off because tile flooring does not just go on forever. It has planks or squares or ends to it. So what we need to do is cut them off. We want to make them smaller back here, and then they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as they get closer to the viewer. So I'm going to start off making them really small. Now here, there's no exact measurements. You just have to eyeball how long you want your tiles to be. And I want you to do every other tile. So I'm drawing one, skipping one, drawing one, skipping one. I'm going to do that all the way to the end. When I get to the end, I'm going to move my ruler straight down. You can see the floor starting to form. I'm going to do the ones that I didn't do before. Draw one, skip one, draw one, skip one. And you're going to continue to do this, whichever one planks you drew on before, you're going to draw on the opposite ones for each row. Now eventually your ruler is going to kind of get to be too short, so you're going to have to move your ruler down your paper. Notice how I'm spacing out my floorboards just a little bit bigger. Now that I'm getting closer to the bottom of my paper, I want my floorboards to appear like they are getting longer. Oops, one more. That's how you do the correct flooring.